if there's a cager out there, we have to talk about this. So here we are. It's time to talk about
We're
this.
actually talking about this.
Yeah, we're actually talking about this. It is called the Retirement Plan. Todd, you are the cager master. You get to go first on this one. Tell us all about the Retirement Plan and what you thought.
Okay, the Retirement Plan is directed by Tim J. Brown. And okay, this movie
Is that
was
the Hall of Fame wide receiver?
Yeah, not that's why the J is there, I think. This movie's got a complicated plot. It's like if you take The Departed and make it a comedy and add 10 more layers to the conspiracy, you kind of end up with this movie. So it follows this girl, Ashley, played by Ashley Greene, and her daughter, Sarah, played by newcomer Thalia Campbell. And they get mixed up in this crime plot led by Ashley's husband, Jimmy, played by Jordan Johnson Hines. And this leads Sarah to flee to the Cayman Islands to stay with her estranged grandfather, played by Oscar winner Nicolas Cage. Who is sort of a hippie-looking older dude who drinks the moment he wakes up and is just like a slacker, loser, surfer bum type, or at least that's how he appears. Then the bad guys are led by Donnie, played by Jackie Earle Haley, and his henchman Bobo, played by Ron Pearlman. They come to the Caymans to retrieve a flash drive that's supposedly like the most important thing in the world. And the grandfather slowly reveals that there's more to him than we originally thought. And there's also a government agency involved with Lynn Whitfield and Joel David Moore playing the main parts. Then we have a cartel-type crime family led by someone named Grace Byers. There's Ernie Hudson as an associate of Cage's character, and NBA champion Rick Fox as some politician. And all this comes together in like super strange and convoluted ways.
Does it though?
Somewhat. This movie is like cager trash with high production values, so I mean it's easy to kind of get into. It has the ticks of a movie like Bullet Train, but I think the closest relative to this is The Lost City from last year, which also like took interesting characters, put them in an exotic location, and had this absolute stud movie star performance by someone constantly saving the day, and that is of course Cage here. And so I mean, it's more of like a young Cage action movie, but we get Cage as like an older veteran, like playing older than he is. What the hell is up with his accent? It was all over the place. He doesn't get to play with children very much, I feel like, in his movies. So it's an interesting relationship he has with his granddaughter. And he's just like loving playing this part. It's like similar to his performance in Army of One, but here we get a chance for him to be like a funny scene stealing role instead of like the lead. And all the criminals are like bumbling idiots, which is entertaining. It's a little Rush Hour in that way, but and in its like set pieces and like creative ways to kill people. The last half hour is absolutely ridiculous. Like everyone is somehow a double agent, and every casting decision is also just super contrarian. It's like every couple is like a mixed couple. The cartel kingpin Hector is a young woman. Like accountant isn't like a Jason Bateman type. It's a young black woman. Ron Perlman is a gopher, not like a boss or a muscle. It's really strange. Like it's intriguing, but it's clearly just trying to subvert expectations at like every turn. The movie in the end takes some convenient like cheap shots at certain things. It's like saying, every government employee is dirty and conspiracy theories are real, kind of, and you can never trust anyone. It's clever, but it's not entirely original. I can see myself getting a kick out of this if it's streaming somewhere. Like I'd go for a sequel if there's more carnage to be had and if Cage is back. But I like it, but I don't love it because I think the story actually gets in the way of Cage. Like he had so much going on, but I just wanted more of that. So I'm going to be slightly thumbs down, 2.5 stars, which puts it number 51 on the Cager between World Trade Center and Inconceivable. So there you go.
All right. Zach, where are you at with this one?
I mean, it's quite a movie, right? That was quite a poster. This is quite a movie. Now, listen, I did not know what to expect going into this movie at all. And yeah, there we go. Thank you. Remind America. So first of all, Terry wins some sort of award for this movie because he had the discipline to not talk about it. I don't think I could have gone on to a podcast with you guys and not at least talked about this movie. I needed to talk about it with somebody.
I love silly. I love stupid.
I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know the plot of this movie at all. So the first 10 minutes I'm going in, and Cage doesn't appear in this movie for a little while. And I'm first of all wondering if I'm at the right movie. And then when you get the pistol whip of the main characters' names, I'm like, oh, oh boy, Nick. I mean, really, this is like BDN territory. We really going here. Like, do you think Nick watched the dailies of this movie? Was like, we need more pistol whip in here. Like, so I don't know. So okay, so first 20 minutes aside, then we see Cage, and it's wonderful. I mean, he's like on a beach. Really, I think who he's channeling is his late great co-star Sean Connery in The Rock, because there are some similarities with that character. I mean, this guy's the ultimate badass who had to abandon his family in the midst of being a badass and having to grow long, stringy gray hair. One of the problems that I have with Cage in this movie is he is not fat enough for a Hawaiian shirt. Okay, he needed to gain a little bit more weight. Maybe he should have gone to one of those baseball statistic conventions and had some hot dogs. That really could have helped beef it up a little bit. Where's the dedication to the role, Nick? Man, so from the 20-minute mark to like the 95-minute mark, I love this movie. I mean, it is a total blast. Okay, you have some great conversation with Nick and his granddaughter, where she's like, "Why do you have two names?" And he's like, "I'll tell you over a beer someday." I mean, that's gold right there. Thank you, Tim J. Brown. Awesome writing. I love the jokes in this movie, like how they all fly to the Cayman Islands, and it's like, for business or for pleasure. Great, I love it. Those are very, very funny. I gotta say, Ron Perlman, I mean, he's joining Jason Momoa in my Best Supporting Actor nomination out of nowhere. It's great to see the Pearlman doing some real shit again, and he is awesome in this movie. I mean, there's a little bit of like Jean Reno in this role in The Professional. I mean, again, maybe he's the Matt Damon Award winner, but I don't know where he came from. But he's amazing in this movie. The thing is, you get through that first 20 minutes, and you're kind of like, you know what this is? This is a 20-year anniversary, 2023 modern rendition of Tommy Wiseau's The Room. These filmmakers, I don't know if they're taking this seriously, but I'm having a great time watching it. Because literally, when you see the scene of Cage beating the shit out of those security guys and then punching a guy's head like it's a boxing mat, you know, like they're just kind of moving back and forward. And when they're talking about him like he's freaking Sisu, okay, from World War II, and he's just this unbelievable force that destroys everyone in his. So he's the new Anton Chigurh, but you know, he's beached up on the beach with his long stringy hair. I mean, it's wonderful. It's wonderful stuff. So I'm giving this movie 3 stars until the final 20 minutes, which I don't know what happened there. It really one shoot. I love the constant backstabbing, and it is a little bit like The Departed on cocaine or something. But like, here's the problem with the movie. Maybe it's a little bit of a spoiler. The movie just kind of ends. Like, do you remember the last moments of this movie, which involved Rick Fox? We need an end. Think of the end of Matchstick Men. Okay, what is the core of this movie? Is Cage and his family. You're not. It's like they ran out of money to film a great last scene with him and his granddaughter. What were they thinking? I know it's a bit of a spoiler alert, but I have to say why I'm in agreement with Todd that this is a 2.5-star movie, which I'm kind of stunned to say because I had a blast watching it. But you can't even put in the right ending. Like, what happened? Did they run out of money? Maybe they needed Bob producing this one. I don't know. So I'm at 2.5 stars. The script by ChatGPT deserves an Academy Award recognition. And I thought one other reason I liked Ron Perlman, he looked a little like Joe Biden in his aviator glasses and the blue suit. I thought that was great. Nic Cage's drink in this movie is a double absolute on the rocks. I love that. And I love this movie in the middle section. So just avoid the end in the beginning and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I am right there with both of you. Agree completely. I have it at 2.5 stars too. It is so much fun because it's a movie. All right, last week we talked about El Conde, and El Conde was one where the premise needed to not take itself seriously, and it took itself way too seriously. This one, it's a horrible story. It's a horrible script, but it knows it sucks, and it leans into it and has fun with it. Like, you have no idea what is going on, and it doesn't matter. Like, there's people that are double crossing people. I came home and told my wife, I think there was a quadruple cross in there. There might have been. I'm not quite sure. But you know what? You don't care because it's just fun. And then near the end, it gets a little too obsessed with the story, and you completely lose what made it so much fun. Who cares? Why do you have to try and knit this intricate web of the whole time you were like, just like, forget about the details. It's like, we got to get the hard drive back. Well, what's on it? Oh, you don't even want to know. It's the worst stuff. It's the bad stuff is on it. And the government really wants this. Why? Oh, because it's bad. This can't get out. And
Yeah, because no one can make a copy of it or something.
exactly. And nobody cares what it is. No, nobody cares to say what it is. Oh, and the bad guys. Oh, they're in all the bad stuff. All the worst stuff. Like,
well, it's obviously the microfilm in the rock or whatever. Like,
oh yeah. And none of it matters. But then you have
Really? I thought it was Osborne Cox's secret shit.
Oh, there's the conspiracy theory.
His memoir.
His memoir. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, it gets way too self-involved and trying to piece it all together. Nobody cares. Everyone just wants to see what's going on here. I agree completely with Zach. I am nominating Ron Perlman for Best Supporting Actor. Also, he's amazing in this. Like, he's the MVP of the movie. Like, every phone call is like, I don't know, you just sent more guys and he killed them. I don't know what's going on here.
The old guy, he just keeps killing everybody.
He just keeps the grandpa. He just keeps killing everybody. I had to run for my life.
He's a big fan of Othello too.
He's a big fan of Othello. The scenes with him and the girl are the best scenes in the movie. So it is an extremely watchable movie. I would totally watch this again, but I can't say it's a good movie.
Yeah, like I said, it's Cage or trash, which I've seen a lot of these, and this is one of the better ones.
But I also agree with Zach that if they had, and Todd, I think you too, to a certain extent, if they had like not tried to wrap this all up into a bow in the last 10-15 minutes and just let it be ridiculous and nobody cares, and if this had ended the way like Burn After Reading ended, of like, let me know when it all makes sense, like, that would have made so much more sense for a movie like this, and it would have been easily a 3-star movie. But it's 2.5 for me. It's thrice declined, but I don't know if there's ever been a more enjoyable, rewatchable, thrice declined movie we've ever reviewed.
Yeah, I have it right below The Pale Blue Eye, and I'm thinking, why would I have the Edgar Allan Poe movie? I would so much rather watch this. So I'm actually going to flip that actually right now as we speak.
Why do you have it? Isn't The Pale Blue Eye a 2022 movie?
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. I think what's great about the movie is that you don't know whether Tim J. Brown is in on the joke or not. So I really don't know. It's literally like watching The Disaster Artist, but like The Room. You're baffled by it, and either way, it's fun. I also wrote down that I think Cage in this movie, because the Cage is the reason we watch this movie, and he's so great in it. I think he's channeling. I said Sean Connery in The Rock. I think there's some Tommy Wiseau in the movie as well. I also said there's like a little bit of Gerard Depardieu and just a little bit of the dude in the movie. And you guys, you could not watch that scene where there is someone being roped off a hotel balcony and not think about Womack. I mean, there's no way that they made that scene without thinking of The Rock. And I mean, the whole plot with the daughter is right out of The Rock. They just needed that same actress, Vanessa Shaw, or whoever. No, it wasn't Vanessa Shaw, but that Vanessa Shaw-like actress should have played this role. Claire Ferluti, that was it. We did need a nice chase on a Hummer, I guess, through the Caymans. But listen, this movie was a blast. I'm actually really sad to give it 2.5 stars. I was enjoying it for the vast majority of the time. We just needed a heartfelt scene at the end with the reunited family. That's all. We don't care about Rick Fox. I mean, Rick Fox to me was like, I don't know why he's in the movie, but okay, we'll take it. But I don't know what that was.
Yeah, and and then the FBI guys are the one that's double, triple crossing. I don't even know. I've seen him in a lot of stuff, but for some reason in this movie, he looked like Jordan Klepper from The Daily Show.
He looked like Nick Wright.
Oh, he kind of looked like Nick Wright too. So with Cage, I was thinking this would be kind of like we're checking in on Cameron Poe from Con Air 25 years later.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that too. That's a very fair
It's
comparison.
it's like a retired Cameron Poe mixed with the guy the like soccer coach he's pretending to be in Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Um,
Yeah.
and we still don't know what his name is. But I'm pretty sure it's one of those two. Um,
I think we should do a power ranking of actors that we'd like to see in movies like this. Because, you guys loved Bob Odenkirk in Nobody, which I want to rewatch again. I think I was too hard on that movie. I think I would love to see, like, how about Steve Buscemi in a movie like this? Like, that would be awesome. Okay. Everyone would watch. Obviously, we would want John Malkovich in this movie, but I feel like there are so many actors that could play this role really well. And nothing to take away from Cage's performance, but if we're leaning into this whole, like, I think it's spawned because of Breaking Bad, the old guy who becomes a badass, who is a badass. Like, let's get some more actors in it. Let's give Cage a few more opportunities. But this was a solid one entry, as Todd was saying. This is high level Cage trash, high minded Cage trash. It's like the Pinot Noir of Cage trash.
I think we're all just really bummed that we're giving this 2.5 stars because it's so much fun, but it loses it. It does lose it. So
I think we're all saying go see it, and apparently it still doesn't exist in Box Office Mojo's opinion. So not really sure what's going on there.
Yeah, Box Office Mojo has declined the fact that this movie exists. It wasn't supposed to come out until next weekend, but it came out last weekend, which is why we didn't see it until now because nobody knew it existed until all of a sudden it had showtimes on last Friday. So
I guess it's technically a Canadian movie, so maybe that there's some issues with distribution or something.
Oh, and everything that it felt it needed to explain in the end of the movie. What happened to the dad?
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of questions
They
you
just-
could ask. One question I had was, why does the movie feel the need to pistol whip everyone's name? But also, why does the movie need to show like screens of the locations, like Washington, D.C., and we see the Capitol? I think we know we're in Washington, D.C. when you cut to that. And then like the next scene it does is the marina. Okay, one is a city and one is a place. So be a little consistent with your titles. It also, I was trying to clock how long the opening credits went. I think they went at least 17 minutes. I think they went longer than The Departed. and like The Departed, you thought they ended, but no, they didn't. No, here they're back on.
And there's so many beats in this movie, you know exactly what's going to happen, and you're perfectly fine with it. I think the best line in the movie is Ernie Hudson when he just looks at the daughter and goes, "Yeah, your dad's totally an assassin." It's like that's all this movie needs right there. That is the level you want from this movie. And you get it for most of the time, but all right. Well, we're all in agreement, 2.5 stars on the retirement plan, and we're all in agreement. You should go see it. It's not a good movie, but it's so watchable. So check it out for sure. Before it's out of theaters, it's probably not going to be there much longer.